All right, folks, of course, you know you're locked into the Mass Breathers Morning Show. We got Lady Falcon on the phone line. Falcon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's wonderful. Just playing your song here in the background, Raise a Woman. What a year, boy. I'm just playing your song here in the background, Raise a Woman.
I am home in my room.
All right. So, I started this, Mass Breathers Morning Show, and I did it as a way to just have something to do during this time of isolation and lockdown and so on, and it's grown into a whole production.
Right.
I've always been a fan of you. I've always been a fan of your music. I've always been a fan of what you've done. And, growing up back in those times when it came to Calypso competition, in my time, because I'm not old, but I'm old, right?
We not old, Kenny.
Right? In my time, in the female Calypso competition, it was always you winning, and in the male, it was Smarty Jr. around that time, right? And I think just a little bit after that, bunkers come and knock on one lash and then go away, and then onion start, then onion start share lick, and then that. So that's my time.
It's
That's
taking its course.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
a lot of people may not remember that you, are a very distinguished Calypso artist here in Antigua and Barbuda. You're royalty. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back and help the folks out there who are listening to get an understanding as to who you are. You actually started singing at the age of 6.
That's right, at the St. Boniface Church.
Oh, so
I was of the choir, actually.
Like everybody.
They used to give me a parade to stand up on Kenny, so people could see me.
like every great singer, everybody started in church.
It's true, and it's the best station, right?
Yeah, man, definitely. So, what got you into Calypso, though?
Actually, I wasn't interested in singing Calypso. I used to love Calypso. I used to love Short Church. I thought it was my ultimate fan. Like, he was my idol. I'm like, growing up in a house with my father, who was a calypsonian. I mean, he wasn't really around at the time when he was singing, where I knew him at that point. As you know, my mom basically raised us on our own. My father and her split a long time ago. But he used to sing Calypso. My brother, Oliver, he literally knows every single one of my father's songs. And the year that I started in 92, my then boyfriend, Vaughn Piggott, he got a contract to basically do a song for Junior.
Right.
And I said, okay, let's get a go at it. And I wrote the song, which got to go, not Apple.
Okay.
And there's times in the political climate and whatnot, parents afraid that politicians might come down on them if their children sing certain things or whatever. So that is eventually what happened. The parents backtracked and decided that she didn't want the child to sing again.
Oh.
So we were stuck with this song for Junior.
Wow.
We couldn't make the song wait. So Vaughn turned to me and he said, why you don't sing it? I'm like, okay, so what am I going to sing? Like, seriously, this is a child song. So I had to rewrite the song to make it sound like an adult. And that is the song that I actually did first, before Apple. People were under the impression that I won the female Calypso show with Apple, which wasn't the fact. Apple, that year, we only did one song. So I chose my method song, which of course was Got to Go. And I remember after we took the song to the radio station, they said to me, this is a hit. This has got to go, not Apple, okay?
Yes.
You need to compete. But then for me to compete in the big man show, I had to have 2 songs. I'm like, what in heaven's name am I going to do with one song? I don't have another song. I never write Calypso in my life. So I just follow Benno with just Short Shirt and Swallow and them thing, right?
Right.
Anyway, we decided, okay, let's give it a try. So we went to Dalton Dyer. And everybody know Picky yet.
Yes.
Gaddafi locks no, but it's okay. Anyway, he gave me the first line of my song, A man from me, that was it. Kenny, I lie not. I sat on that line for about 2 weeks. And then one night at the studio, Dr. Solo was supposed to come in to do a track. And Vaughn turned to me and said, listen, you need to write this song now, get it done. I mean, we just had a basic music done for it. I didn't know where I was gonna go with this thing, sing about apple, and like, what am I gonna sing about an apple? In 5 minutes, they put me in the booth and tell me, I'm just gonna start playing the music and do what you have to do. You laugh. They put on that music, I put on my headphones, and I'll never forget. The lyrics just literally just came out of me. I didn't even know what I was singing until the song was done. And it was one track. I didn't have to do over anything. All I did was background vocals afterwards. That was it. Apple was written. Apple was done. History in the making, I guess.
we're going to play Apple, right? But before I play that, I want to actually play the song you won with. But this song is only available. There's only a live version of you performing it. And I had to go dig up some archives to get this one here. All right, so we're gonna take a little bit of this one. This is a live performance of you doing this one here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
You remember this night?
I love that song. I think it's one of my favorite songs.
All right, we're gonna get a little bit of it.
We ain't getting better. We put them there, they don't have the power. The way they treat us not fair, and always already clear. They got to go, they got to go, they got to go, they got to go, they got to go. We put so much on them.
Hey, the voice of Lady Falcon there in the background. So this was your first time competing?
Sorry, say that again?
So this was your first time competing with this song, with this performance?
Can you hear you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go again.
Yeah, so I'm saying that this was your first time competing?
That's right.
So I gotta ask, were you nervous? What was the day like when you got up? You know that you had to go perform on stage that day. What was that like? What was going through your head at the time?
You know what? I was a little bit anxious at first, but the thing is, I was so accustomed to performing live for people anyway already, because remember at that point I was singing in hotels and stuff.
Yes,
so
yes.
I was accustomed to the crowds, I was accustomed to the stage, and accustomed to a mic. When I took the idea of me competing to my family, my mom said, why not? Do it. And her exact words were, maybe you might have more success than your father.
Wow. So said, so done.
So we forged ahead, and that was history, That was that.
Because
it was so much fun. But, it's strange because I think for me it was a lot of excitement, being able to perform on the same stage with a person I've idolized for so many years, like Short Shirt and stuff.
Right,
and it's so strange. I competed against him that year, and in the finals, and it's strange, I was actually the only female that made it to the Monarch show that year.
I remember that, yes.
And in other rounds, Short Shirt performed directly before me. Everybody was like, you're gonna be scared because the king coming out before you. And I remember turning to one person and said, but he doesn't have horns. Why should I be afraid of him? I don't care, I'm having fun. It was all about fun for me. I wasn't even thinking about winning the competition. I didn't even think his first on to him. And he beat me by 1 point, Kenny.
Yeah, man.
They say it was experience. Oh, well.
that was an iconic time, man. Trust me, that time was an iconic time. So, you know,
It was.
after this song, after these two songs, after those two performances, you went back into the competition again.
Yeah, I did Sugar Bag was one of the songs that I did, and then I remember writing another song as well myself. But the problem was, I think it was like 2 years in, they had a big split. I don't know if you remember the big split with the Calypsonians and the
Yes.
CDC at the
Yes,
time.
yes.
And the Calypsonians had their own competition, so that was just one big disarray. You know, the show went on down at Millers by the Sea, but I was still traveling and performing in Canada, New York, and all over and stuff because I used to travel with Baron.
Right,
I
right,
used to do a
right.
lot of work with Baron.
How was that like,
Yeah,
though? What was the experience like working with Baron?
it was amazing. He is such a funny guy, and it's strange when Baron comes to Antigua. Back in those days, the hotel that they would put him up at, he would leave and come to my family's house and literally want to sleep. We used to have a couch we used to call a snake. It was about 60 feet long that was wrapped up into like a couch.
Right,
And that's
right.
where he would just bunk. And that's when he actually taught me to cook certain things like Trinidadian food, bacon, shark and stuff, and oil
Wow.
dump. But overall, Baron was an amazing man. He still is.
Yeah.
And no matter when he comes to Antigua, no matter where I am, he finds me.
Now let me ask you something. Were you I don't know, were you at Breakfast Fete, I think 3 years ago? 3 years ago?
Fortunately, I wasn't, but I heard all about it.
Oh man. So let me paint the picture for you. Although you heard about it, let me paint the picture for you again because I was there and I literally got goosebumps. Now a lot of people may not know the history of Sugar Aloes and Baron, right? Now the controversy was that one was sound like the other and one copying off of the other and so on and so forth. And I think fans of both of them made the situation more than what it is.
It's true.
Yeah. So Sugar Aloes had a song called I Like Being Me, right? I Love Being Me.
Yes.
Where he is basically saying, I don't sound like the Baron, for your information.
For your
The Baron.
attention, the Baron don't sound like me.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Big tune.
this song was a big song, and I think this song was the song that made this probably Baron's Sugar Aloe's biggest song ever, just because of the whole situation. So amidst of all that, on the day of that show, Sugar Aloes was performing that song, and guess who comes on stage to do a couple of lines? Baron. I don't think they have ever even done that anywhere else in the world, and it happened here in Antigua. Goosebumps, I tell you. And Baron came on and do a part of the line, and he says that, you know, and it was just awesome, man. It was just awesome. It was just something that you had to be there to witness and experience and be a part of, man. Something you probably never going to get a chance to see again. Tell me.
But you know what, Kenny?
Tell me.
I had the honor of, even though I missed that at Breakfast Fete,
Right?
I had the honor of actually performing on stage with Baron and Sugar Aloes once in St. Croix.
That's what's up, man. I mean, that sort of thing is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like it's
So-
almost like and sometimes I don't like giving out too much stories. I don't want people to think I'm bragging or nothing like that. But I was fortunate enough to be on an event in Anguilla. Now I hosted the event, right? The event was a soca classic event, and what was supposed to happen? It was supposed to be headlined by Sparrow, but Sparrow got
Right.
sick. Now there were other entertainers on the card. You had Swallow and you had Short Shirt on the event, and I think Beckett was there as well. So because Sparrow got sick and he couldn't show up, they asked Short Shirt and Swallow to headline the show, right? And it was just an awesome experience because, you know, they have their routine where they kind of pretend like they're going at each other and they're bashing each other and there's certain songs that they have against each other and so on. And they did that whole routine in Angola, and I'm telling you, I felt so proud being that the event was headlined by two Antiguans, and I'm an Antiguan hosting the show as well. It was just amazing to me to be a part of that. And it's almost the same feeling I got when I saw, Baron and Sugar Aloes on one stage doing that one thing together, and it was just amazing. All right,
I know.
But
and it's strange because I remember when I started, the public is very powerful, right?
Right.
And they create scenarios that don't even exist sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, you will have rivalries in Calypso, any performance or whatever, competition, as you want to call it. But I remember the second year, I went and seeked out singing out there because I used to love hearing her sing.
Right.
I used to go to Grace Green show, and she was performing the year before, and she won. And I remember being at the show, and I said, this girl has an amazing voice, and she did a song for Singing Sandra.
Right.
So I met her right on her porch and told her why she doesn't come and, sing and stuff like that. And spoke to her mom as well. And she decided to sing. And people started having this thing going around that, we hate one another and blah, blah, blah. But the people were the ones who created that drama.
Yeah.
Because I were looking at it as, I'm gonna bang she, I'm gonna bang that. No, it's all about fun.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, that first year, the women were so close. We were close-knit. We're like a little family because every weekend, the committee for the female calypsonians used to take us on different events. We used to go to dinner together. We go on a big truck on a Saturday, play our music, drive around Market Street, and just sing and entertain people and have fun.
Right.
But then everything just started turning so ugly and it started getting a little dangerous too. Trust me. People see the glitz and glamour on stage and the party vibes and everything, but nobody sees what happens backstage. It can get very nasty. And as I said, sometimes it's not even calypsonians or your competitors, basically, who are the ones creating the problem. It's the other persons maybe in their entourage or other personal fans or whatever, and it's not really cool. But
is that where pushing it too far came from?
Yeah, but it got to a point where there was this big thing with Althea and Ivina after a while, and I even made a song about that.
Yeah.
Pushing it too far was one that I spoke to them about. When that year they couldn't even be in the same place to record to rehearse at the same time.
And you see,
that was nuts.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing about it, because okay, I understand, it's competitiveness. It's a competitive sort of sport when it comes to competing to play music and to sing music and so on. I understand that, right? But let's not ever forget that it's only just that. It's not worth more than life. It's not worth more than whatever. It's only just that. Enjoy it in the moment of what that is. All right? So tell me what we're going to do. We're going to play a little bit of Pushing It Too Far. All right? So this one, what year did you write? Did you come up with this one? You remember?
Let me see. That was in 2005.
Okay. 2005. So, folks, let's hear Pushing It Too Far by Lady Falcon.
Nowadays in Antigua, we behave like bullfighters.
right, that is the voice of Lady Falcon right there with a song called Pushing It Too Far. Now, Falcon, you know, even when you sort of, I wouldn't say take jabs, but you at Calypsonians, you did it in a comedic, playful way, and there's always a place for that sort of thing. You know, once it's musically done, then fine. But in this song, you're really saying that, guys, let it stay music, let it stay fun and light and that sort of thing, because it was getting kind of tense after a while.
Right. It just defeats the purpose, because at the end of the day, the whole vision that we had when the female Calypso show started was to have unity among the females and whatnot.
Right, right.
And believe it or not, a lot of the men actually started bad talking us, and it was really bad.
Okay.
It was bad.
Do you think that the female competition needs to come back?
I'm sorry?
Do you think the female Calypso competition needs to come back?
Well, I think it does. There was a lot of animosity, I think, where a lot of the men thought that the women were given too many opportunities to make money during Carnival. It was aired by a lot of them. But I find that very selfish, because at the end of the day, what they had started doing, I don't know if you remember, they had separated, they had the male, the females, then they had chosen a number from both competition to go up against each other in the Monarch competition.
Right, right.
And even then, it was still a problem. But I think the problem is that I think a lot of the females were stronger than the men.
That's
And
in that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But even no, so I mean, if you look at the climate
It's
now,
true.
I mean, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But, you know, that's just selfish, really. Because initially, the CDC actually tried to do something to make them happy, because they thought that it's unfair that the females have their competition and then they only had the Monarch competition, but the female, whoever won, would still have an opportunity to make it into the Monarch competition.
You know,
Right?
I was gonna, something came to my mind a while ago, and I'm trying to hold back from not saying it because it may come out the wrong way, but there are some persons out there in the Calypso field. It's not even, I think that anybody who probably makes $1 more than they do, or has the potential to make $1 more than they can, they'll fight against it. Because you kind of almost saw it too with the soca competition, in terms when the soca competition was becoming very, very popular. And there were certain Calypsonians speaking and saying, hey, oh, no, 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 and trying to fight down that. And my thing is, fighting that down doesn't boost your brand. It doesn't.
Right.
Work harder to boost your brand, and then everyone is happy. But that's neither here nor there. So when did you stop competing, and why?
I think 2008 was my last year of competition. The whole mood was just wrong. When I started, that was not what I signed up for. I thought about losing. Everybody's supposed to win, somebody have to lose, right?
Right.
I was more focused on having fun and enjoying myself.
Right.
It's Carnival, and it's my time to contribute something to Carnival and my people. But, you know, when it starts to get personal, then that's a different issue. Because I think the most scariest thing that I've witnessed, experienced rather, was 1 year. I have a tendency, I used to perform in a lot of booths, I'm sure you know. And I remember taking off my boots, and I used to always shake them out first before I put them on.
Right.
Because I have a phobia of making my boots right, Kenny. And an entire Heineken bottle was actually smashed in my boots.
Wow.
And that was the last year I performed, because it wasn't that serious for me.
Wow.
If they wanted that, just leave it.
That
That's
is
my whole thing.
That is crazy.
You know.
But let me ask you something. Would you make a return? Have you ever thought about making a return? I mean, 2008 is 12 years ago. Maybe the climate has changed somewhat. Would you?
But do you think much has changed?
I think, you know, okay, we saw bankers make a return to do the soca competition a few years ago. I think even if it's something along the lines whereby, you know, it's just a 1 year, you say, hey, let me do something as an anniversary thing. Maybe coming back in just to say one last time, just for the fans out there. People like me who long to see Lady Falcon on the stage and this sort of thing, you know? One last time, maybe both the Calypso and the Soca Arena do something for both or something like that. I don't know. Because I think...
Well,
Go ahead.
to be honest with you, Kenny, actually this year, I was contemplating competing. If not compete, at least have some stuff to contribute to Carnival.
Right.
There was an album I was working on with Shooks, who passed, rest in peace. He was my producer.
Right.
And did some stuff work for Carnival. And after he passed, I think a part of me died with him.
Oh, wow.
And when you have something that is so personal and so classic that you just can't afford to have anybody work on it because you want it to come up the way that you know he would have. And I've been feeling lately that it's time to put them out because I think he's talking to me again, telling me now's the time to do it. With everything that's going on right now, of course, everything had to be on the back burner. So we are working on stuff. But let's see what happens after the air has cleared. And if not this year, well, definitely next year, but something will be coming out from Lady Falcon again.
Okay, so wait, hold on. Is this an exclusive here on this show? Have you ever said this to any other media house out there? Is this the
No,
first
this is
time?
exclusive to you. Me.
Wow. Okay, this is awesome. All right. So you're potentially making a return to the arena. I think that's lovely. I think it's lovely because it's a way of honoring the memory as well. And you know, with everything happening right now, I think sometimes we forget that life is short, and we just have to try to do everything that we want to do before we don't have a chance to do it again. So I like that. And I'm looking forward to whether if it's this year, because I know there's conversations of having Carnival in December this year, potentially, or, you know, maybe Carnival postponing altogether for this year. We'll see. But whenever it does happen, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the arena once again.
And I won't be coming out alone, you know, because my fiance, he's going to be singing as well.
Oh.
You haven't heard him yet.
A family thing.
Hopefully you can get to do a commercial with him.
Sure.
Shortly. Yeah, we'll arrange something. But his name is going to be Showman. So everybody can listen out for Showman. Showman Promotions, which is our promotional company, actually.
All right.
But yeah, Showman is going to be the next name on the Soca circuit soon. So
well, we're looking forward to that as well. All right, so Falcon, thank you for joining me. You know, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. It's always great to have these sort of conversations. This is when I get to be a fan, you know, because I'm a fan of music first, and I'm a fan of this culture first before anything else. And when I get a chance to speak with people that I'm a fan of, it's always a great thing for me. So Falcon, thank you so much for joining me today, okay?
And I just want to say good morning again to the general public. Antiguans, please stay safe, stay at home. If necessary, and you have to go out, but do it cautiously. And yeah, let's protect each other, you know?
Definitely, and thank you for those words. All right, so Falcon, go ahead. go ahead.
Happy Good Friday. Kenny, Muhammad, potato dumpling and them for good boy like a late, okay?
Listen,
but don't do everything else.
I don't want to hear about it, right?
I'm trying to keep some normalcy in my home.
Listen, I don't know how to make dokana. I never really attempted to. I know the recipe, but I never attempted to make it. But it's all right. I am going to find something constructive to do at my time in terms of cooking today, and I'll see what happens. But you know,
if you have fish, fry some fish.
Yeah, I just missed the day that, you know, normally we would be able to have this raisin versus no raisin argument on social media. Oh well, we'll get that next year hopefully then.
Well, I got to teach you.
No problem.
After the dust I'm safe with the social distancing thing. I'm gonna give you a 101.
No problem. I'm good for that.
All right.
All right, Falcon. You enjoy the rest of
Kelly,
your...
thanks for having me.
No problem, man. It was a pleasure of mine, and you enjoy the rest of your morning.
You as well.
All right, thank you. Hey, that was Lady Falcon right there with me on the phone line. You know, we had a little chit chat, you know, speaking about her career and things coming up. And, you know, we got some exclusive information that she is actually